Well, time could be running out for TikTok here in the U.S.
Yeah, the House overwhelmingly voted to pass legislation that would shut down the app if its China-based owner doesn't sell it. Well, now the bill moves on to the Senate, and Bronx Congressman Ritchie Torres co-led the bill. He joins us this morning in studio. Thanks for joining us, Congressman.
Always a pleasure.
All right, so the simple question is, why now?
Well, it's a national security risk. And I want to be clear, the legislation is not a ban on TikTok. It's a forced sale of TikTok. The purpose is not to target speech. It's to target adversarial foreign ownership. As you know, TikTok is owned by ByteDance, which is subject to the control of the Chinese Communist Party. And the fact that we as a country would allow our leading social media platform to be in the hands of our leading foreign adversary, the Chinese Communist Party, is an act of self-sabotage. You know, that would have been the equivalent of putting ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox in the hands of the Soviet Union during the Cold War. And so it's a national security risk that's become too glaring to ignore.
It is a national security risk, but a lot of people are wondering, okay, so they sell it to a U.S. entity. Yeah. That data is still being collected. It can still be used in different ways as far as collecting data against individuals. Why allow it to happen if you're going to allow it to happen? Just saying, yeah, you got to have a different owner because we worry about international security risks.
No, there's a singular national security risk surrounding TikTok because ByteDance, which is based in China, is required by law to report all private data to the Chinese Communist Party. And so the Chinese Communist Party can use TikTok to spy on 170 million Americans and to conduct foreign influence operations against the United States.
So Americans that we've chatted with, right, they look at themselves as just an individual. Like, why would China want my information? But can you explain to them the ramifications of this? And why you are pushing for this, you said not ban, but for this forced sale?
Look, the fact is that China, and it's not only about China, it's Russia, North Korea, Iran, and China. All of these countries often conduct foreign influence operations, espionage operations, cyber attacks against the United States. We live in a world where nothing's more valuable than data. And to have access to the data of 170 million Americans is a valuable strategic asset for any foreign adversary, including the Chinese Communist Party.
Okay, so let's talk about the, you saw George Santos at the State of the Union.
I did.
And the following day...
They let anyone in?
Well, the following day you drafted the George bill. But first, he was on our show. Yeah. Let's play a clip from him.
That is nothing more than it's seeking attention. You want to talk about seeking publicity and attention? Ritchie Torres is seeking publicity and attention because he knows that his bill is not germane and it's unconstitutional. So it's another messaging stunt for Ritchie Torres to stay relevant. Since I'm no longer there, Ritchie is no longer relevant. So he doesn't get the news waves. I come in, I do Ritchie a favor.
So your bill is to basically anyone that's been expelled from Congress, they would not be allowed to return. I want to ask you, what was your thought when you saw him on the House floor?
Look, it's embarrassing. I mean, George Santos disgraced the United States Congress with his presence during the State of the Union. As you know, former members have the same floor privileges as existing members.
For life.
For life. And if you're a former member who left in good standing, then you should retain floor access. But if you're a member who was expelled for misconduct, you should have your floor access revoked. And so I'm introducing what is known as the George Rule to revoke the floor privileges of expelled members like George Santos. And George stands for Getting Expelled Officially Revokes Guaranteed Entry.
Just quite clever.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think the odds of that getting passed will be, or even brought up?
You know, there's support among both Democrats and Republicans, but we might pass it in the next Congress.
Okay. Hey, I want to ask you before you leave, yesterday, Senate Majority Leader and New York Senator Chuck Schumer said he's kind of calling for new elections in Israel, saying that Netanyahu has really jeopardized the peace process in Gaza. You have been strongly pro-Israel throughout your entire tenure. Just what was your reaction when you heard from him?
Look, there's widespread frustration with the Netanyahu government within the Democratic Party. You know, Senator Schumer is the highest-ranking Jewish elected in American history. The issue is deeply personal to him. So if you're an Israeli or Jewish American, you have every right to express an opinion on Israeli politics. As someone who's neither Israeli nor Jewish, I feel I have no right to comment on the domestic politics of Israel.
But you are a congressman.
Yeah. Yeah, but I tend to comment on issues I can vote on. So I can vote on foreign policy, but and I have my hands full with the mess of American politics. I don't need to deal with the mess of Israeli politics. So.
All right, let's bring it back to TikTok. That bill, it fastly moved through the House. Now it's in the Senate.
Yeah.
What are the odds of this actually passing?
The Senate is a question mark. President Biden has come out in favor of the bill. The House overwhelmingly voted on a bipartisan basis to pass the bill. My prediction is that there will be a compromise, that the Senate will insist on leaving its own imprint on the compromise. But again, the issue has to be addressed because the national security risk is there. And even if we were to pass the perfect standards of data privacy and data security, the fact would remain that the Chinese Communist Party could use TikTok to conduct spying operations against the United States.
It's been interesting to watch this because when this kind of first came up in 2020, there are a lot of people who were supporting it then that are now starting to waver here in an election year going, maybe we shouldn't. It's the politics of it all.
I'm only aware of one person, Donald Trump. So,
well, and a lot of people are following him, though.
Yeah.
That's what's happening in the Senate, at least right now. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you coming in here.
As well.
It was a pleasure.
Native New Yorker joining us here.
You want to dance next week?
Sure.
Just send it in, GDNY@fox.com, and we'll put you on.
I appreciate it.
He said sure.
Okay.
We got it on the record.
All right.
Thank you.